Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, transgenders, whatever the hell you think you are, autistic people who are also transgender. Welcome back to the show. I'm Lewis, that's KD. We are coming back to you after the Chiefs pulled off the greatest team ever with the best fandom, my favorite team of all time. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers. Was it 26? No, 25-22
25,
in
22.
Las Vegas with McCole Hardman catching the game-winning touchdown in overtime. This is the second time the Super Bowl has gone to overtime since the was it 2016 Super Bowl when the Patriots came back versus Atlanta, who, by the way, Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator for when they blew that lead. So twice in a Super Bowl, Kyle Shanahan has blown a lead and gone to overtime and blown that lead too, and lost a Super Bowl
Interesting.
in overtime, which is crazy considering how I don't like how people are saying that this team was loaded. They weren't saying that before. I don't understand where this
Which
term
team?
is coming from. The 49ers. Like I get
Okay.
it. They were better. They were they were better than the Chiefs record-wise and in the majority of times when they faced competition, they did beat them. But let's not forget that the 49ers lost to the Bengals. They got blown out by the Ravens. They beat an Eagles team that nobody respects now, these same pundits. The
Oh
Cowboys, no
yeah.
one respected the Cowboys, and they beat them.
All right.
So and they lost those three games. The Ravens, they got blown out when they were full strength. They lost those three games, remember, when Trent Williams and Debo was out. I think someone else was out. So they lost those games when they were all out. And now, when they're full strength, people are saying that I don't understand. Now they lose the Super Bowl and they're saying, well, this was a loaded team. Kyle Shanahan had a loaded team. Well, they were really good in 2019 too. We all forget that they could have won if it wasn't for, I think, Jimmy G overthrowing. What's his last name? His last name isn't Jennings, but a wide receiver. I forget his name now. He was really good too. Well, good. I don't know about really, really good, but very good. I forget what his name was. He overthrew. I remember watching that game, and then obviously Kyle lost in 2016 when they blew a 26, was it 28-3 lead versus Tom Brady and the Patriots. Why? Well, because they didn't run the ball enough. That's what I felt. I felt that they didn't run the ball enough in the second half, even though McCaffrey had 22 touches, he had 22 carries, but I mean, at this point, give them 30 because we have to put these guys away. We can't leave time on the clock, and we can't let Mahomes feel comfortable or not feel comfortable because I think he felt comfortable. I think it was the offense. Because remember, in the first half, the Chiefs were dormant, but they lost that fumble by Pacheco when he lost that fumble. That was a big turning point. Not turning point, but that was a big deal for them the first quarter because they couldn't make any momentum. They couldn't drive the ball. In the first half, Steve Wilkes and that defense, they kind of had the Chiefs number. They knew when they were going to
Mm.
throw. They knew when they were going to. They kept Mahomes inside the pocket. He couldn't really go north and south. He went east to west, but he couldn't extend plays like that. And they kind of kept Kelsey kind of under control. They didn't use Rasheed Rice that often. He only had like 20 something yards, which pissed me off because I lost that
Yeah,
parlay.
that was it. Yeah, that was the interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I didn't
dude
expect
had
them to
39, I had
use.
40.
Yeah, I needed 40 and he has 39. And I didn't expect them to use McCole Hardman that much. In fact, I forgot that they signed him because he was with the Jets early in the season, couldn't make the team, and then got signed by the Chiefs later on. I didn't even, and McCole Hardman's not a bad receiver. He just couldn't stay consistent on the field and
Wait, he
consistent in
was
the game.
he was the one that caught the ball on the last
At the end,
touchdown,
he
right?
was the last. Yeah, he caught the game
Hard.
winning touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, it was him.
So
Hmm.
I just felt that can you say the 49ers gave this game away? I would
Oh
because
yeah,
they had a
they were doing well
chance
in the
to
beginning.
capitalize in the second half when they could have scored. Thing is, it's like I know Mahomes has been down twice in the Super Bowls. He's won 10-0, right? 10-0 to San Francisco in the first one, 10-0 to the Eagles last year, and he's beat them. But that's kind of like a child's thing to say. To make that point and think that's actually a fact more than just a coincidence is like a kid's thing. My thing is, you might have to if you want to get Mahomes in a Super Bowl, you're going to have to just put him away 17-0 and run the ball because He's gonna come back. It's not him. It's the people around him that might fail him. And he made some bad throws. Like that interception was a bad throw
Yeah.
in the third quarter. That was a bad throw. But he's gonna give you one, maybe one. He's not gonna do it often, but he's gonna give you one. And so and so you're gonna have to be prepared to capitalize on that. I mean, you can't just go three and out for a couple drives when your defense and their defense, the defenses were really the MVPs in this game. San Francisco, even despite the ending, they did shut out the Chiefs. Or not shut out because they got 3 points, but they did for the most part keep them out of the end zone.
What you think about Pacheco's plays yesterday?
Well, that fumble killed them. But
Yeah, it did.
other than that, other than that, he did very well. Clyde
Oh,
Edwards-Helaire was not that great considering, but I guess for a decoy or for whatever purposes, schematics wise, they had him in there. Mahomes running the ball, that saved them too. That saved
yeah,
them
it
because
did.
they couldn't extend at that point. They weren't going
Right.
anywhere without him. In that first drive he did where he put his head down and got the first down, I thought that I think that gave that offense confidence that they could do anything. I think that was the beginning of it because they were getting nothing. Pacheco in the first half was running the ball and he was getting pulled. Either he was getting caught at the line of scrimmage or he was going for maybe 3 or 4 yards. He wasn't
Mm,
getting those first downs like he was in the second half, where I think he got a first down in one run. I think
mm, mm.
something
But no,
like that.
I
He got a
thought,
good run.
yeah, Pacheco did fine. I just thought there were one moment after he fumbled the ball, he kind of looked like he lost his confidence. Like he was just
Yeah,
sitting down and he was like, "Damn, I just screwed it up so bad."
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah, I haven't really seen him play like that, honestly. Well, it's been a while since I watched the Super Bowl, so I don't know. I don't know him like that.
Well, he was in the Super Bowl last year. He was there last year
I,
when they beat the
I
Eagles.
didn't.
So it's not like his first time,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
no,
me
it is
too.
crazy because you never know when you're going to be back there. I mean, Kelsey came alive in the second half. I did not like what he did. What did you think of that when he was with Andy Reid?
I
When
I
he
don't know.
pushed Andy Reid like that, when he
Some
grabbed him.
people say it was childish. Some people say he wants to get in the game. I don't know.
I don't like it. It's a bad look. It's just a bad look. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
I can see it that way
I don't
too.
like it
Yeah.
because it just shows. I don't. It's like first of all, that's your coach. You shouldn't be putting hands on people like that. And then second of all, it's like why? Like you've made mistakes. He did this the first time he did that earlier this season. Andy Reid didn't let him come back out.
Yeah, Andy looked really scared. I think he's trying to be tough in front of Taylor. You know what happens when guys have girlfriends? They don't
Yeah,
act all
you.
tough.
Yeah, you.
And you.
Nah, you, bro.
My mom just said, "Look who's talking." Damn,
You.
my own mom just roasted me.
Damn, damn, bro.
Uh,
Oh, just roasted you.
let me keep my head down.
Oh man. Oh man. Nah, but yeah, I don't know because now I saw a stat out on Twitter today that apparently Taylor Swift only came on for like less than a minute, and I'm like, even that was too much.
It was still too much.
It was because
Dude,
they showed her chugging the beer.
she had more screen time than the field goal kickers.
Did you see her chugging the
Am I
beer?
wrong?
Did you
Oh
see her
yeah, I
chugging
saw
the
that.
beer? That inspired
Yeah,
me. She
yeah.
handles beer better than you do.
No, never. I handle beer well.
Nah, you don't. No, you
She
don't.
doesn't.
No.
Now we were talking about Ice Spice like
Oh
throwing out
yeah, the
the
memes.
what was that the demon whatever
Oh
she was
yeah,
doing
I saw that one.
the
I didn't.
upside down cross
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Balanci whatever it's called she
Balenciaga.
was wearing. Yeah,
Balenciaga. Yeah. Did you see her
I
like?
didn't
Did
see
you see
that.
the meme? I didn't see that either. And I was like, when did this happen? Like, did you see the meme of Jason Kelsey and Ice Spice? Did you see
No,
the
I
meme
didn't.
when he's meeting
Uh-uh.
her and he's like ice and spice? I like putting that in my tequila.
What the hell? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he didn't say that. It's like a meme. You didn't see that one? He's like, "Am I?" Then there was another. It's like, "Hi." He was like, "Am I the shit or the fart?"
Ew.
You don't know her song?
No.
You never heard that song that's
You think
popular?
I listen to her music?
Bro, it's out there in memes now.
Of
Found
course
it
you
on
listen to her
TikTok.
music.
I don't listen to her music. It's just out in the
Yeah,
memes.
yeah, you do. Nah, you listen to her.
Yeah, because you're not even the fart, bro.
You listen
You're
to
not
her
even the
and Sexy
fart.
Red.
Well, you know I like Sexy Red because Sexy Red. No, that's just funny though. That shit was funny. They're both funny. I mean, Ice Spice. I don't really know. It's like I did see some dude like take a picture. They took a picture of her, and then did you see it on Twitter? It was like no, it was like no reasonable man is attracted to this.
I think I saw that
You
one. It
saw
was on
that one?
Instagram actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not ugly. She's just not,
Yeah, she's fine. She's all right.
yes, she's not just all that. People make it out to be. Oh my god, no, she's just actually not.
You know how people are now
They're
these
scared.
days.
Yeah, yeah. Anything is.
They're gonna call her. They're gonna say that she's a 2,
Yeah, dudes in the RP,
3.
dudes in the Red Pill community think Pearly Davis is a 10. That's how bad things
Dude,
are nowadays.
she has a dad bod, man. Her dad bod's way worse than mine.
No way. Yo, we're both fat pieces of shit, and we're saying that. Damn.
Yeah. I
I
have a
know.
better
I
dad
feel
bod
bad
than
for you.
hers, and I got bigger boobs than her too.
Damn. Yeah, I mean,
She should be ashamed of herself.
she should be ashamed of herself, but she's not. Yeah, did I hear something?
So
I
what do
heard something on Twitter about someone said Nick Fuentes gave did you see that one? Nick Fuentes gave Pearly Davis back shots. Face. Your face. I need to get off X sometimes. That's what I read on there.
yeah, what the hell are you reading, man?
I don't know.
Stop that.
It was
Just
on a Ben
bored.
Shapiro. It was on a Ben Shapiro thread.
So what do you think about conservative guys constantly just like bashing on Taylor Swift for just being like, on screen time?
For just existing. Um,
Yeah, pretty
like I
much.
get it. She voted for Biden. And did you see that Trump post, by the way? And I'll answer your question. But did you see that Trump post where it was like,
About Nikki
I'm
Haley.
sad about I'm so no, not about Nikki Haley, the one about Taylor Swift. It's like Taylor Swift should like me because I did
Oh
that
yeah,
modernization of music
you
act.
have the music stuff. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
and
she
there's a
endorsed
reason. Yeah,
Biden.
but she likes Biden, and
Excuse me.
I like Kelsey, but he doesn't like me because he's probably a liberal, and that's sad. Did you see that one?
No,
You saw that one?
I saw
Yeah,
that on
that's
Instagram.
funny. I don't. Okay, this is how I'll go with it. It's funny, like when you say, it's funny when we say, oh, I wish San Francisco won because I want to see her sad, but then it gets overboard where, oh, I hate them together because I just despise them together. Like, there's one thing to say, like, I hate her being in the
Yeah,
game because they show her too much, and that part is okay, right? Don't show her every second like they used to do Chiefs games, or don't
yeah,
have like a
that was
tracker.
my biggest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's my
yeah,
biggest thing.
the same. But then when it goes into I hate her because she's not hot, and like there are some black people who are mad that Kelsey dumped his black girlfriend and got with her, and she's not thick, she's just skinny and pretty, and she's a blonde, and she is
She's
pretty.
pretty.
Taylor Swift isn't ugly. Anyone who thinks
Yeah,
she's ugly is just is an incel. That's just the reality.
yeah, Louis, stop
Um,
that.
huh?
I said, yeah, Louis, stop that.
Yeah, stop that. So, yeah, no, and anybody who I guess what I'm trying to say, I don't know exactly how I'm trying to say this, but it's kind of incelish when the men are the one mostly doing it. I don't know. I don't see a lot of conservative women coming out here and bashing Taylor Swift. I imagine a lot of conservative women listen to Taylor Swift. Like I
Oh
think a
yeah.
lot of them like Taylor Swift music. Taylor Swift used to be a country singer. That's how
Hmm.
she started out. I'm assuming people still listen to her with that music, I guess.
Mm.
If they're
Yeah.
of that age, like in the late 20s or 30s, maybe early 40s, that wouldn't be insane to me if people still listen to that. I just don't like
Mm.
the over bashing when it's like, oh, she's ruined this. Oh my God, she's like, I'll joke around, and I joked around on Twitter when I saw a post saying, oh, Taylor Swift had the least screen time. She was barely in a minute. And I was like, yeah, that's too much. I wrote that on
All right.
Twitter. I'm just playing around, but there are people who literally think that. They're like, that woman shouldn't have that much money. That woman shouldn't be. She's destructive to all the little girls. It's like she sings about her boyfriend sucks, and she talks shit about her ex. Dudes do it all the time about their ex. Women do it all the time. She's not destructive. Now, voting for Joe Biden is destructive and endorsing, and but
Hands
I
down,
don't
yeah.
know anybody in their right mind who votes for. I don't know anybody. in their right mind who votes for Joe Biden because Taylor Swift told them to. If you know someone who does that, and if you do that, then there's no saving you. You're done. There's no
It's
saving you.
probably it's probably the same case with Cardi B
Well,
and
there is no
Biden
saving
at
you.
2020.
Yeah, if you're voting
Uh,
for them, if you're voting for Joe Biden because Cardi B told you, there's no saving you. There's no saving you at all. You're stupid. You're just retarded. You're ideologically incompetent and
you're just retarded.
intellectually retarded. That's just how, yeah, that's just how it is. It's just you're stupid, and there's nothing can fix you. There is no pill, there is no drug, there is no YouTube video or podcast except ours that can fix you. It's over for you. You're done. You're dead.
We can fix you guys.
Yeah, as I said, accept us. We can if you listen, you subscribe, and also donate to our Patreon. Um, that it's over. You just and guess what? That's not the majority of the country. So when conservatives are saying, "Oh, she's such a bad influence on little girls," it's like what for being flying a private jet? I get it. She's a hypocrite, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have a right to go to the Super Bowl and enjoy her time. And it does. It seems like she and Travis Kelsey are in a real relationship. It seems like they like each other. Now, if they do break up, I'll be pissed, not because I care about them, but because they literally just wasted my entire.
Oh, dude, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, they're gonna break up eventually. I mean, I hope not. I hope.
I thought that Kelsey was gonna propose to her, like right at the end of the game.
No, that'd be way too rigged. First of all, the game seemed rigged because in the beginning of the game, all the calls were going towards for the Chiefs, and I'm like, what the
Oh
fuck?
yeah,
And
I'm
I'm
not
not,
gonna lie to
and
Kel.
I'm not even anti Chiefs at this point. I'm not. Like I wasn't. I don't give a shit about
I don't hate the Chiefs. I do think that they're a really good team.
Yeah,
But
there are more Trump supporters probably supporting the Chiefs than there are Trump supporters supporting the 49ers. Like they are in. Like I don't want to support uh blue-haired faggots in San Francisco cheering. First of all, any assumption that any gay person is supporting likes football is also a lie. That's not happening. They're all going to the basketball games.
the basketball games.
They are. They're all going to the basketball games.
I'm not gonna lie. The game was kind of boring-ish.
What?
There were some parts that I really liked. McCaffrey doing the touchdown, dude. As soon as he did the touchdown, I was so happy.
Yeah, because it was part of your parlay. That's why. That's not why.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
the game was boring because it didn't go towards your parlay. That's why you degenerate gambler. You're just a degenerate like me. Like me. Yeah, I
I'll
said.
never say that again.
Yeah, you are a degenerate. You're a degenerate.
You've done it more than me. All right.
You're a degenerate incel. That's what you are.
The game was all right. It wasn't that good.
The game was
What? The game was all right.
alright.
I
The
would, I,
game
would,
was
I
boring.
really thought that I was really surprised that Rice didn't do a lot of play time. They
Well,
didn't
he
really
didn't
give him
get
the ball that
targets, but I
much.
think that's because of the defense. The defense probably, I'm telling you, that's why the defense is really, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, MVP and all that, but the defense was the MVP of that game. The defense was the MVP, not them, because that defense kept the San Francisco 49ers in check, even in overtime. They only kept them to a field goal.
Yeah,
That's
the
that's
overtime.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
enough. I mean, honestly. So what were your thoughts on the what were your thoughts? Did you think it was rigged? Or give me your whole thoughts on everything.
Um. Well, you did mention the bad calls at the beginning. It was kind of weird. Uh, I'm trying to see if I can remember. There was one part where Mahomes was rushing towards the yards and he went to the out of bounds white line. And then someone mentioned that it went to second down, but then it went back to first down. And I was looking, I'm like, wait, what the hell? Why did it went second down and back to first down? But I think what happened was it was kind of like a graphic error. But
No, I've
if,
seen
if
that
I can if I
before.
can
I I've seen that
I,
before.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
a
don't know if you know
graphic
what I'm
camera.
talking
I've
about,
seen
but
that before.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that before. Where I've been like,
Because I was looking at it closely and he did pass the yards.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
it wasn't a second down.
Right, right, right. No, I've been
Nah, if I can remember, then yeah, but no, I don't. I think the game was just all right.
yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that because I was surprised at how lethargic the Chiefs offense looked in the first half. Now that fumble cost them, and I could see, they were.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't Mahomes always looked poised. The San Francisco defense came to play. They were ready. They prepared. They were prepared. I saw that, but the offense just looked sluggish. I mean that the fumble, the fumble by Pacheco, and then wasn't there an early fumble too at the first drive? I forget. I'm forgetting now.
Oh, who did that fumble?
Oh, McCaffrey
No,
fumbled
I.
too.
Oh yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
Yeah, no, but there was a reason because they went 3 and out several times, 3 and out. They didn't even get past the 50-yard line. They went
there was
three and
another
out
fumble. I
several
just don't
times.
remember who did it though.
Yeah, I'm forgetting right now. No, but I mean, there was the interception too, which I don't understand at all still. And there were several. There it was
Which part?
the Mahomes, but this was in the third quarter. The Mahomes interception.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened there? Then there was the intentional grounding. There was the intentional grounding by
Oh
Mahomes,
yeah.
cost them. And I see that's when I texted you though. I'm like, wait a second, are they literally like the ref is like, no, the main ref, I think his name is Bill something. He goes out and he goes, yeah, this is intentional grounding. But then the other two refs are like, no, there was a guy nearby, and I'm like, wait, are they trying to save him? And he just calls it himself. He's like, no, this is intentional grounding. He wasn't going towards anyone, which I don't usually see called like that. Usually, Aaron Rodgers used to have that problem back. I think it was a couple seasons ago when he was in Green Bay. I remember he used to have that problem a lot, a couple times when, he would just throw. He was throwing the ball away. He was
Hmm.
throwing the ball away because there was nothing available, and you can't do that. You just can't throw it right into the middle of the stand. Just right away. You have to throw it in
Yeah,
the direction of somebody.
because then
But I
everyone's gonna
thought,
do it.
yeah, exactly. Anyone would do it. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck's going on? That was weird
Well,
too.
he did do it. He did do it twice, didn't he?
He only got one intentional grounding call, didn't he? That one. Did he get another one?
He got one call, but I've seen him do it a couple times,
Yeah, I know.
and they
He
didn't
did it
call
a
the
couple
second one.
times. Yeah, no, it's not usually called like that, but you're usually not doing that. You're usually overthrowing or just giving it away or giving up. But you're throwing in the direction of somebody. That's how it works. Um, half.
What do you think about Christian McCaffrey's plays?
I thought he did very well. I thought he was underutilized. That's the whole thing. It's like they didn't use him in the second half, and then overtime, that team was completely lost. The fact that they admitted afterwards that they didn't even know the Super Bowl overtime rules was a disaster. They should have never admitted that publicly. That's a disaster. The fact you're not prepared for overtime or even talk about it is a problem. You should know the overtime rule. First of all, how Shanahan played in an overtime, not played, but he coached in an overtime that he lost to the Patriots. He should know this. He really should know that.
Hmm.
Not the other way around where, oh,
Hmm.
yeah, no, we weren't prepared for it. We had nothing to do. That's worse. That's embarrassing.
Right.
And they just seemed, they just lost all control, I think, after that. They got the field goal, but they should have got the touchdown. I thought Purdy played enough. I thought Purdy played well enough. I know people today are saying, "Well, it wasn't enough. He wasn't Tom Brady." It's like, yeah, no one's Tom Brady. No one's.
No, I think Purdy did well.
I think he
Yeah,
did
he
well
did he did fine.
considering. First of all, let's remember he is Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last pick in the draft for a reason. There is a reason for that. But he played exceptionally well. He kept the ball. He kept the ball safe for the most part. I don't think he made. Now he came out in the second. He came out aggressive sometimes. He made some deep shots. That ball to Ayuk that I think he could have caught. There was a ball I think was it that Ayuk or Samuel dropped. I think in the third quarter when he was throwing the
Yeah,
ball
it might
because
be.
he
Yeah,
started throwing the ball deep.
Yeah, it might be Debo. Yeah.
Yeah, he was throwing the ball deep a couple times. It just wasn't landing, and two of them were blocked away, and I think one of them was dropped. I think that one to oh no, that was no, there was a Kansas City Chiefs drop to Noah Gray
Okay.
that he dropped, which was insane. But he was behind, he was ahead, he was too ahead of the ball. He was too ahead.
Hmm.
Or Patrick was behind. But that was a bad drop too. That was a bad drop. I thought when he dropped that ball, things would get worse. But no, Purdy played well. It's just that Mahomes came out in the right situations, and he played well. I mean, that's just the reality. That's just the reality.
Going back to a rigging. Well, I wouldn't call this a rig or anything, but I find it weird that the 49ers players were constantly getting injured. Like a couple of
Oh,
the players,
Greengrass? Was his
yeah,
name
they're just like
Greengrass?
they were just like walking in, and all of a sudden they just like
Well, that looked like an Achilles. That looked like an Achilles. Now that I like re-looked into it, that looks like an Achilles.
what was his name? The first one. Yeah, I think they mentioned it was a lower leg,
It
so
was
it
Greengrass. Wasn't
might
it
be Achilles.
green grass something? Green something?
Green something. Oh, let me see. Do I have his name here somewhere? Greenlaw.
Greenlaw, yeah. And he had played very well. He was playing
He
very
he
well.
did actually. Yeah, he did.
Green very well.
But it was just
Oh
funny. Like,
yeah, an
dude,
Achilles
he
injury.
was
Yep.
walking and he was just holding his leg, and then Debo Samuel
Tore his
was
Achilles.
kind of like jogging a little bit, and he kind of did the same thing. But he did came back.
Tore his Achilles.
So, oh wow, yeah,
Greenlaw. Yep, tore his Achilles. 26 years old. Drafted in the fifth round, 2019. Yeah, that's insane. And yeah, that was a freak accident. Like you saw that. He just it wasn't like he took off. He was about to run, and then that
he
was
was
it.
about to run. Yeah,
And that was
and
it.
I'm like, what the hell happened to?
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And it happened to Debo, and but
Yeah.
he came back, and then I think Kettle went back to check his shoulder. I think he had a shoulder problem, but he came back.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really
that was
didn't do much either, and that was one of his main guys too.
yeah, Debo's been used by Purdy most. He doesn't really use Kittle. That's why I was surprised to see Kittle being used a lot more. But all hands on deck in this game. All hands on deck. The Chiefs kicker did a really good job. Broke the two records that night.
Yeah,
Um, Special teams unit for the 49ers did very well. They kept putting the Chiefs back in further down the field, um, close to the 1 yard line. A couple times it was at the 11. I think one time at the what? Yeah, the 11, the 10. A couple times. That was really good. Halftime show thoughts. I was underwhelmed. I expected more. Now people are saying they loved it, but I kind of expected more. I mean, he seemed tired by like the third, fourth song.
really.
Usher.
Well, yeah, you guys explain it because I didn't see it. I didn't
Oh,
care
you
too
didn't
much
see
about
it?
it.
All right, so I didn't
No,
want to
I
talk more
decided
about it because I saw
I
I saw
decided to
it.
go play.
Of course.
I, I decided to go play a game Overwatch and I lost. So
Well, yeah, just like you lost your bet. So, or we lost our bet.
yeah,
Yeah, because we're degenerates. And just like all the degenerate women who are watching Usher because they find him to be hot. Yeah, I thought the show was because Super Bowl halftime shows over the past couple years have been a lot about stage work. How does the stage look? The technology, the creativity. Um, I didn't sense there was much of this. Like the stage was ordinary. He came out, the costumes were weird. And it's weird because Usher dances a lot. He was dancing a lot, and it just sounded weird, him singing and dancing at the same time. It just didn't fit right. I don't know. It didn't sound. So there were some times where I could barely hear him.
hmm
There were moments where I could barely hear him. Now he and Alicia Keys, when Alicia Keys came out, that was a highlight because that was a good song. That was good. She always
oh,
lifts up because she's an amazing artist and amazing singer and favorite one of the favorites. And really good on the piano, of course. Great voice. And I think
I bet
she
she's a four.
helped, but I don't know. It was just underwhelming to me. I expected a lot more, to be honest. This is Vegas. This is where the shows happen. I expected him to be more. I kind of I just expected more of a show, and it just didn't happen. It just was him dancing and running around, and at some point it sounded like he was out of breath or just sweating a lot. Like just it was a lot.
Is she
And
like out of shape?
no, but I'm like it just didn't. It just for a halftime show, I didn't like it. Now people love
Or
the
he's just
songs that he
rusty or
chose.
something?
People love the songs he chose because they are classic Usher songs that they love, from I guess not recent ones, but the classic ones that they love. But it's not really for me though. I don't know. I like when Coldplay did it. Beyonce had a really good one. Bruno Mars, of course, one of the best. The Katy Perry one wasn't bad either. Um, with the Blue Shark, and that wasn't bad. That was a good one. That was a good one. Now Justin Timberlake was horrible, so this was better than Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake was awful. Um,
Really?
yes, I didn't like that one. Um,
when did which Super Bowl did he perform?
A couple years ago. Shit, was it the Eagles one? Was it the Eagles one? No. Let me see. When did
Uh,
Justin Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, 2017. This was the Eagles. He was the headliner. Yep, yep. This was the Eagles
Uh,
versus the Patriots. I remember this. I watched this whole one. Yeah, he sucked. I didn't like it. Um,
what else did he
well,
perform with? Oh, Janet Jackson.
people were saying that he did great. I don't know about that. That shit, it was just I
Oh,
didn't like it.
this is something else. Never mind.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah, I think it was just him. I don't think he had anybody else with him.
Pepsi Super Bowl
Not,
halftime show.
not. Oh,
Justin
Jay Z, I think
Timberlake.
was gonna do it, but no, turned it down because of Colin Kaepernick. I remember this one. Yeah, Jay Z turned it down because of Colin Kaepernick.
Uh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So, yeah, yeah, that was just a halftime show. Now the commercials, we already know.
Well, commercial was kind of weird.
There are commercials that were weird. First of all, how does Timu have the money to make commercials? Is
I know, right?
beyond me. You know, they're
It
like,
was
yeah,
like
you can
three or
buy
four
stuff from,
ads of them.
yeah, 3 or 4 ads, right?
Yeah,
I
people are actually
like the Mountain Dew
buying stuff from
commercial.
them.
I like the Mountain Dew commercial with Audrey Plaza and Nick Offerman.
Oh yeah, right. No, that
Yeah,
one's
first
good.
of all,
That
I
one's good.
love
Yeah,
Audrey
I
Plaza,
like
of
that one.
course, because who doesn't? And Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson is hilarious. Um, the one with the abuelas and the what was that? Was the that was funny to me.
Oh, was it like the chips? And I think
Yeah, the
Jenna
chips,
Ortega
the
was there.
spicy chips. Yeah, that one was kind of. And who was the girl who
Yeah,
was in it?
uh, I think that was I think that was
Olivia
right.
Rodrigo? No, no,
Jenna Ortega.
Jen Ortega. Here we go, Jen Ortega. Yeah, that one was good. Let's see. Oh, now we have to talk about the other one. The fucking he's with us. Is that what it's called? He's with us. Yeah, now that was disgusting. That was disgusting.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was disgusting, and it was deeply insulting. The fact that there was a white policeman washing the feet of a black guy. There was there was
It was like a pastor, like cleaning
a
off
pastor cleaning the of
gay guys.
a gay black trans guy. There was a white dude cleaning the feet of a Native American. There
Yeah.
was, just it was
Uh,
disgusting. It was disgusting.
I think
Now,
there was also another woman of at a family planned
oh
parenthood kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, a dude cleaning washing shoes right outside of an abortion clinic. Yeah, that was disgusting. And it's just this assumption, it's this insulting thing that there's this notion now that okay, first of all, I went to their website and they in one of the things state because they were like, "Are we a Christian group?" And they're like, "No, because Jesus belongs to everyone." So we're not entirely non-Christian or Christian because Jesus belongs to. First of all, no, he does not. No,
Yeah,
no,
but
he
you
does
guys
not.
don't believe in God.
Yeah, though they don't believe in God. But it's also like
Yeah.
this notion
So
that, oh yeah, Jesus Christ. It's because you ever hear this lie that they say it's, Jesus loved all people because he accepted everyone. He ate with sinners. It's like no. He loved the sinner, but he didn't accept the sin. That's the clear distinction. See, he he ate and slept and spoke to sinners, not because he loved what they did, because he accepted them as who they were, but he did not accept their sin. He believed that they could leave that behind and become better people. Not because oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're gay and you like to have abortion, so I'm gonna accept you because Jesus would not accept that. Jesus would urge you to change your behavior.
yeah,
Yes, he would still
right.
talk to you, but he would try to change your behavior to make you see the light and not do those type of things because they're destructive to you and your soul. That's what he would do. Not this lie of, yeah, we accept all of you and that's it. Yeah, we accept you. That makes me a good Christian. The fact that I accept you. No, that's disgusting. That's utterly disgusting.
Dude, I was watching it. Me and my mom, we were watching it, and I'm like, "Mom, do you also want me to wash your feet too?" It's like, all right, then I guess everyone's gonna wash each other's feet. It was such a weird ad,
It was
but yeah,
insulting. It
it
was
was
deeply
also
insulting.
insulting.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it
insulting
was.
because that's not what Christianity is about. That's just not how it is. It's a joke. All right, so yeah, we got to go. We're gonna be back after a quick break. We're gonna talk about other topics, Tucker, Putin, etc. All right, see you soon. All right, so welcome back to the next part of our episode. We're gonna continue talking about Super Bowl ads because that here's he's with us ad was completely insulting. I just don't like it when people who believe in Christianity because it's, I don't know, popular or because it's spiritual, they try to make this thing spiritual, and then they try to twist words, and it's not right. First of all, it's not right. It's not what Christians should do to twist words to make it conform to their political ideology. Like when I see these pastors and just clergymen and women in places like England, a lot of times in Europe, that accept gayness and actually promote it in their church, like put a flag and pretend that, yeah, this is completely fine, or that are okay with people aborting children and they're members of the church. That I think is completely wrong. Even if it is your political agenda, that just doesn't work. It can't be. You can't be a priest or a member of the Christian community if you actually believe that. It's just not. It's not compatible. And to think that Jesus Christ would be out there washing the feet of someone who has gotten or will get an abortion at an abortion clinic is deeply insulting. He would not. He would do everything he
Yeah.
can to prevent you from getting the abortion. See, there's a difference. See, you can love the sinner and reject the sin. And I'm going to keep saying that because that's what he was about. He sat with people who committed sins, but he didn't do that because he accepted their sin. He did so because he wanted them to prevent more of it and to teach them that what they did was wrong and why, and to make sure that they embarked on a path towards self-righteousness. And you can do that. You can talk to sinners. So it doesn't mean that because you're Christian, you have to reject gay people completely and say, I'm never going to talk to anyone gay. No, that's wrong. The thing of accepting that there are different people, accepting that yes, there is evil in the world, and you have to go out there and root it out and convince people that evil should not be pursued because it is expedient, and expediency isn't fulfilling. It isn't righteous. Um, it isn't fulfilling. It won't lead you to anything where you're going to feel like you're a valuable human being that has accomplished anything in your life, and it will destroy your soul. So you can recognize that. And you can like a person who commits sin. You can. But you have to reject the sin and not commit it yourself and also try to help them as a good person and prevent that. And I think
Yeah.
most of the religions do that. I think Jews do that. Obviously, Jews aren't as open as Christians are. Jews tend to be more, circle oriented. They're closed. They tend not to marry outside of their faith, and if they do, they try not. They don't really accept that person, i.e., Jared Kushner's wife. So, um, Muslims are the complete opposite. They want more people in the religion because they're imperialists at heart, and they want more and more, and they're conquering barbarians by nature through their history, and that's what they do. And they do want more people, but they prevent things like that. They prevent their men, but it is obviously in Islam, it's more oriented towards the men. They can't commit
Yeah.
as many sins. The women can't commit any sin, and the men have to prevent committing many. It's like the women in Islam can't commit any sins and the men get away with some. Of course, because that's why all the incels are going from there. But it is again like, others. It's like they don't approve of it.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So yeah, I just find it
I'm
disgusting.
gonna be imagine it was the other way around, like black guy. Yeah. The other ad, what was his name? The one to play Aquaman. Uh,
Oh, yeah, I'm bad with names, dude.
Arthur. Um, Wait, Arthur's his real name or call him Jason Momoa? Um,
Oh, there we go.
yeah.
Yeah.
His ad was pretty good too. It was the T-Mobile home internet one. That one was pretty catchy too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
speaking of assaulting, the DEI national anthem.
Of course. Now
Have
that's
you
not
saw
an
it?
ad, but yeah, I understand. Now I remember. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get it. I
Do you
remember
really get it?
singing. I do but it's complicated for me because it's crazy. Like here in Plainfield in elementary school, we would sing that song Lift Every Voice and Sing at every school recital. It would be one of the last songs we sing as a class. It would be. We would sing that at the spring recital, at the
What?
fall recital. We would. I think elementary schools in Plainfield, we would sing that. And we were never told that's the Black National Anthem. I never heard of it. That's why when I heard that that was the Black National Anthem, I'm like, what are you talking about? Black National Anthem? Did they just hijack that song? We never told as kids that that was the Black National Anthem. Yeah, it's like lift every voice and sing. If I saw a sheet, I could probably remember the lyrics. I remember vividly. I used to like singing that
We
song
never
too.
did anything like that in my elementary. It was just the uh American national anthem. That's pretty much it.
Now we would
Wow.
religiously, now we would religiously do the Pledge of Allegiance. You had to do it in Emerson. Now that's why
Right.
it was so weird that this was the Black National Anthem. I
Hmm.
never knew that was it. We were never told that. Because at Emerson, you had to do the Pledge of Allegiance. There was no choice. If you were sitting down, you'd get in trouble. I remember that. You had to do it. You had to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and at every fall and spring musical, we did every lift every voice and sing.
I wish we can bring that back in all
Yeah,
schools.
tell heaven and earth ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty, let our rejoicing sigh, high as lightning skies. Yeah, I remember singing this. We used to sing. I think we would sing the two first stanzas, not the full song. Not true to our God, true to our native land. No, not that one, because I never remember that one. We would sing until, we would sing until the end where it's where the white gleam of our bright stars cast, I think that's where, yeah, that the two first lines. And we would sing that a cappella with the piano going, played by a Russian musical instructor. Um,
Okay.
yeah, because Miss Magleaf, I remember her. She was a Russian teacher. She just retired, by the way. She was a Russian music teacher who was awesome, and she would run the musicals. She would have people, on the piano. She would teach everything, and that was back when people actually learned how to play instruments. Not now, where people just learn how to rap in music class and call that music. Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
is. No,
Wow.
no, that's what it is though. That's what because I went to school out in middle school and that's what they thought it was. They thought rapping was the music class. I'm like, nah, bro. Can we learn how to play the clarinet?
Right. Clarinet or the guitar or the
I love
drums and all
music. Have
that.
you heard of George Frederick Handel? No, no, you haven't.
Nope.
I love all music. I love Nicki Minaj and I love all music. Yes, I
Do
also
you
like
also
Nicki
like
Minaj's boobs, but I don't claim I love all music. So
do you also love Sexy Red?
of course, why not? No, but yeah,
Maybe
that
you
was one of the ads. Now the RFK Jr. ad was so unexpected by me. I was like,
it
what
was
the
so
fuck?
unexpected. I didn't expect that
I
at
liked
all.
it though. I liked it. But my question is, what's the
It
point?
was like a good classical one. Yeah, it was yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
was
was
weird.
like, what's the point of this? Now he came out today, by the way, and said he did not approve of the ad. It was a super PAC. His super PAC launched the ad
Oh yeah.
and he was apologized. But I'm like, why are you apologizing? First of all, this makes no sense. It's like, why are you apologizing?
RFK Jr. apologizes to family for Super Bowl ad. Oh wow.
Oh, to his
I didn't know that.
family. To his family. Okay, for using the kid for his death. Well, using his dad's his dad was, attorney general. It is his dad. I guess because he's
RFK
using his
Jr.
uncle.
Yeah, RFK Jr. apologizes to family for Super Bowl ad that invoked President John F. Kennedy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well. Most of them are Democratic hacks. So who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? All those motherfuckers. They don't do anything for this country anymore. They should be ashamed. Their dad and uncle would be ashamed of them. So get the fuck out
My
of here.
cousin's Super Bowl ad used our uncle's faces and my mother's. She would be appalled by his deadly healthcare views.
No, dude. They would be appalled by your corruption. The fact that you're a corrupt sycophant. That's what they would be appalled by.
Wow, I didn't know
Fucking
that. Wow,
junkies.
it was funny.
Fucking junkies, dude. What the fuck? I hate that. They've used
Damn,
that
I don't
name for
know.
profit. They don't use that name for any good. They use that name for profit. A lot of those family members. They're gonna come at him for
Yeah.
actually trying to stand for what their father and what his father. That's his dad. The fuck he can't use his dad or his uncle for? He was
I
alive
like
when that happened,
I like how in Wikipedia they put occupation for him as environmental lawyer, writer, and
which he is.
anti-vaccine
Yeah,
activist.
and he's not. Yeah, exactly. So he is an environmental lawyer. He was. but then they put anti-vaccine. It's like, yeah, it's a they don't respect him, and that's the wrong thing. I mean, I'm not voting for him, but I respect him.
There's no way I'm voting for him.
No, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't vote for him. Okay, if I had a choice between Joe Biden and RFK, hell yeah.
Yeah, I have no choice. Yeah.
If you had a choice between it was only Joe Biden and RFK Jr., yeah, I would vote for RFK Jr. in a heartbeat, but not Joe Biden, of course not. But
Plot
no, I get what
twist.
you're saying. You know, but
I'll
I just
vote
didn't
for Joe
understand the
Biden.
point of the. Yeah, of course you would, because you love sniffing kids too. Okay. Yeah,
Did you hear it loud and clear?
yeah, I did. That was weird. And then no, don't do it again. And then and then fuck, I've lost my train of thought. No, but I just don't understand the point. I just don't understand the point of the ad because again, he's been polling consistently at 15%, I think. I think 10%. No, not even. What is he polling at? What is
Wait,
he
so
polling at now? I know he
what's
was
the
polling at
percentage he needs
15%.
to get? What's the percentage he needs to get into the election?
To get onto the debate stage. I think it's 15 nationally. I think he has to have several
Yeah,
consistent polls of 15%.
I don't want it to be a fucking three-way.
It is gonna, but let's see.
It's
Polling
gonna be tough.
RFK polling. Yeah, give me your thoughts on that ad. What did you think about it?
RFK,
Yes.
it was pretty classy. It wasn't bad. It was nice. It was different, compared to the other,
Right.
presidential ads. Yeah, it was pretty different. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't necessary as if he's gonna fucking win.
Right.
He
Right.
was
Right.
wasting money doing this stuff,
Yeah.
but he's doing his thing. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
You're trying to find his polling data on
I
here.
didn't expect it though. It was a little surprise there.
I'm trying to find his polling. NBC,
Was was that like his very first ad? I don't know if you
like
seen
nationwide
yeah, like
ad.
national ad. I don't know if you've seen any of it or this was like his first one.
I think I've seen ads of him before. I think I've seen one or two ads of him before. I think I've seen an ad. I definitely have seen an ad of him before. I've definitely seen an ad. I
Probably
think where he
not
talks
national.
about yeah. I think a national ad. Yeah, I think that's so. I think he's viewed what 28% positively by voters, negatively by 27%. That's an NBC. Um, um, NBC national poll 28% viewed positively. Now that's not 34% to 16 favorable Republicans, 18 to 54 Democrats unfavorable. So he's unfavorable a lot
Oh
by
wow.
Democrats, and yeah, but I can't see how he polls. But I haven't seen any polls for RFK Jr. But yeah, I just don't think this is going to bump him up. I don't think people are watching the Super Bowl and saying, "Yeah, RFK Jr." I think a lot of people that are voting have
Yeah,
heard
that's
about him.
actually not a lot.
I think people know about him, and I think do they know enough about his political stances? No, but I just don't think it's going to work out. I just don't think it's going to work out. I would have loved him being in the Democratic primary and making noise and trying to get him out, trying to get Joe Biden to, capitulate to something because it looks like now they're going to get him to capitulate to something because he can't get in trouble. He can't get indicted because he's too old and he's too senile, but he's not senile enough to be the president. Did you see that? That came out today.
Uh, wait, about
The
what?
special counsel that was investigating him for the boxes that he had says that he was too old.
Oh yeah,
He's too
they're
old to
not
be
gonna.
indicted.
Yeah.
Okay, but does that mean that he's too senile? He won't remember stuff. But he's the president.
Wait, I thought
Isn't
I
that a
thought he was
concern?
yeah, I thought he was doing fine. I thought he wasn't senile.
Yeah. And first of all,
Like
even if
his
that,
his own his own party is saying that.
yeah. First of all, it's like, all right, if the judge and the prosecutor protecting him from any charges says that he's too senile, shouldn't that be a concern? He's the
Should
president
be.
right now. Are you literally admitting that? Yeah. Guess what? He's a concern. Donald Trump should just use that defense. It's like, yeah, you know what?
No,
If
he
I'm too
should.
old, I'm just old. That's why I can't be indicted. I'm old.
Oh, have you seen Trump's ad with Nikki Haley?
I saw that one, the repeat one, replay.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
That was a clever one. I like that one too. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, can you see if you can find it? Let me see if I can find it.
I don't know
I
if you
kind of
can
want to see it
play it.
again. Oh, then never mind.
Yeah, I don't know if we can play that right here.
Apparently, RFK spent $7 million on a Super Bowl ad.
Well, he didn't. The super PAC did. The super PAC, because
Well,
he's a super
yeah, the Super PAC, yeah.
yeah. So that's not really his money. That's just the donor. Well, maybe it is, but I don't know. I don't remember how that worked. It's been a while since I heard super PACs because a lot of them pledged they're not gonna, except Joe Biden.
Produced by a Super PAC.
Yeah. Well, Trump has a super PAC, but that's not his problem. So let's just get
Trump got
before we
money.
end this, I want to get some reactions from the epic Tucker and Putin interview. It was 2 hours long. It was a deeply chilling and instructive and informative and all jaw dropping and awe inspiring history lecture on you know the war in Ukraine started because everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, and that's why he invaded Ukraine.
Did you finish watching this?
Yes, yeah. I finished watching it, and for a long part of it is now the memes are hilarious. It's like, why did you invade Ukraine? And it's like, and then the ending is, and his answer is like, in 2016, a gorilla in a zoo was shot, and that has forced a chain of events that have led to us invading Ukraine. Yeah,
Oh,
Harambe
troll.
died, and everything, and then the world changed, and it's like, then there's the one where it's, then there's also the meme that's like, where were you on? It's like, where were you last night? It was like, everything changed. To answer that, we have to go back to answer that question. We have to go all the way back to the year 882 when a prince, Rorik. Oh my God, this man is a character. Um, this man is a character. Yeah, he gave pretty much a 30 to 50, really 30 to 50-minute lengthy explanation on why he thought it was relevant to explain from over 1,000 years ago why uh, Russia requires Ukraine to be a part of Russia. Now, I understand where he's coming from, but he didn't have to go all this way. He could have just said, because this is basically what he said, he does not recognize Ukraine to be a sovereign country. Now, he has alluded to that in the past, not just when this war started. He has alluded to that in the past, to give him credit. He has alluded to things like that. He also said the greatest tragedy in the history of Russia was the fall or the collapse of the Soviet Union. It's always a
Hmm.
debate still today. What is Putin most like? Does he reminisce about the Soviet Union? Is he a communist that reminisces about the glory days of the Soviet Union and the uh, I forget what the communist words are. Soviet Union and the yeah, I forget the word now. Or is he more of a
Ruski.
czarist? Or is he more of a czarist? Does he have imperialistic views? Is he a czarist as in, does he believe in the imperial Russia? Um, it's kind of complicated. I think he views the national defense of Russia more in an imperialistic way. I think he views as keeping all of the nations that surround, and most of the nations that surround Russia, the modern Russia, used to be provinces of Russia. Now they were used to be called semi-autonomous republics within Russia. So places like Belarus, Ukraine, I think Latvia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, even Uzbekistan. All of those countries, by the way, used to be semi-autonomous republics that lived inside of Russia. They were under the Russian banner. If you lived there, you were a citizen of the Russian Empire or the Soviet Union. People forget that. The collapse of the Soviet Union
Hmm.
to him is a great tragedy because it meant that they lost all of those lands, all those countries that had many of them becoming independent in the late 80s and 90s. All of those used to be for centuries part of the Russian Empire and then the Soviet Union. Those were republics, but they were really just provinces of Russia. And I think Putin views the whole of Russia being intact, the whole of Russia being a unified body where all of those republics are consolidated into one Russia. Now, is that could be his dream that he'll never achieve in his lifetime? Um, but I think that's the more honest answer. I don't think he recognizes Ukraine, or he's come to the conclusion that Ukraine is not a legitimate country. I think he views the loss of Ukraine, and of course, the loss of Ukraine was one of the worst losses of all time. Hitler deeply coveted Ukraine. I think the Soviets deeply desired Ukraine, not because of they appreciated the history there, and Putin seems to make this case that they love Ukraine for the history they have. That's a lie. They miss Ukraine for the resources. That's why. Ukraine has always been
Yeah,
desired
I
for
was
the
gonna, I
resources.
was gonna ask you that.
It wasn't about their rich history that they share. And first of all, then it's all messed up, and he gets it all convoluted. We've gone over this before. We have gone over this before. Parts of
Yes, totally.
Ukraine, mostly Western, used to be Polish for centuries. They were Polish and Hungarian and from part of the Lithuania. They were part of different
Lithuanian.
Lithuania. They were Lithuanian. They were Polish. Most of it was Polish, and parts of it were Hungarian. And Putin points out part of the Hungarian and Polish thing, but he views the Polish history differently than we do. He views Poland as being a co-conspirator in World War II. He views Poland as being an ally of Hitler in World War II, not
Oh,
the
oh.
victim that was trampled by Hitler. He views the Poles as the nation that tried to make a deal with Hitler against Russia, and that would not favor Russia, even though Russia gains all this territory in Western Ukraine and Eastern Ukraine through Nazi Germany. They split up Ukraine, and Russia takes up most Western Ukraine. Remember, is at one point Polish, and when the Hitler and Stalin split up Poland, the Ukraine absorbs that province or that autonomous republic that was Ukraine at one point, took that territory, it absorbed it, and at that point became Russian only 100 years ago, more than about a
Mm.
hundred years ago. So that history is mixed up, but he does a great job. But he's not here to convince. He's not here to present the true historical facts. Putin is there to tell you why he believes it is. Now Trucker does get him in a couple ways, and I mean, it's not really a gotcha interview. He's just looking for the other side, because this notion that you're going to discover the truth from Putin is a lie. You're not going to. And I hate when people say the truth is going to be. No, you're not. You're not going to hear the truth. You're going to hear the ramblings of a man who is an imperialist and who's paranoid. That's why he is.
Yeah,
Putin is
I
a
mean,
paranoid. Why I lean towards Putin
do
being.
mention about the gorilla in 2016. Don't expect them to give you a serious answer.
No, he didn't. That was just a meme.
No, yeah.
Yeah, the gorilla was
No, I'm
just a
just saying.
meme.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. Putin didn't ever mention the gorilla. What did you think? What?
Never mind.
Okay. Well, anyways. No, but he's not here to give you an accurate historical lesson. He's not, because he's not going to. He is here to convince you that he's only doing this not because he views, and he did at one point did mention that yes, he did not appreciate that NATO expanded into Russia towards Russian borders. He didn't appreciate that, and he did view that as a threat. He also mentioned what I told you, that at one point Bill Clinton offered Russia a pathway into the European Union, into the Rush, and into NATO, and then rejected that when Putin said yes, we would be open to it. And I think that was a dirty move and a mistake. You can
Mm.
argue whether it was a mistake to offer it to him in the first place or a mistake to withdraw it. Pick your poison. But
Big.
but that was my reaction from this. From was part of my reaction. So he goes with this history lesson, and it goes off the rails because he goes 1,000 years ago to just explain, yeah, we don't, I don't, he doesn't view Ukraine as a legitimate country. He doesn't. He doesn't view them. He views their independence as being a great insult to Russia's legacy, to Russia's history, and he views it as a stain. Why? Again, I just said it, and you can go back and fact check it. He viewed He viewed the collapse of the Soviet Union as a national tragedy. So So Tucker does get him with this one. Well, he interrupts him at one point, and he's not interrupting him, not because he's a sycophant, but you have to understand, Putin is not accustomed to being asked questions from a journalist. That's not what goes on in Russia. Good or bad, and mostly for the bad, there is no level of free expression in Russia. You can't just be a journalist and say, "Yeah, I want to interview Vladimir Putin," and ask him tough questions, interrupt him like they do here, say the things that Jim Acosta would be sentenced to a gulag in Russia.
Oh,
And maybe that's a
facts.
good thing. And maybe that's a good thing. But he wouldn't be able to insult the president of the United States like he did to Trump. He wouldn't be able to do that to Putin. Something he doesn't understand. They don't understand. Tucker can't go to Russia being invited there or being allowed to do an interview and then interrupt him and say, "Yeah, I'm going to ask you the hard questions." No, he might not make it out alive. He may not be free after that. So he does the right thing and he says, well, I just don't understand. Putin ends and says, "It doesn't seem like you're interested." And Putin and Tucker's reaction is, "I just don't see how this is relevant." It's interesting history. It's fascinating. It's fascinating that a head of state would know all this. That is fascinating. But I just don't see how it's relevant. And it's not relevant. A lot of it's not relevant because if he truly believed that he's doing this because he doesn't view Ukraine to be a legitimate or sovereign country, he should have, like Tucker pointed out, Putin should have invaded Ukraine as soon as he took office, or a
Yeah,
couple or a year or
right.
two afterwards. He should have been addressing those points before. This is really in these last 2 years that this war has been going on, or last year, or whatever, that this war has been going on. He should have been saying this. He should have been saying, "Yeah, I don't view Russia, Ukraine as a real country." He's been saying that lately, that he doesn't view Ukraine because it's filled with Nazi sympathizers, and he mentioned that about the Canadians, and he said, "Yeah, they're." And he mentioned that about Trudeau in Canada, and said, "Yeah, that's a shame. They should really
Oh,
listen to their
yeah.
history." And of course, Putin's going to play that to his
Yeah.
advantage and say, "Yeah, look at the West. Look at the West now. They fought Nazis and now they admire them. Look, we're actually the good guys. We're fighting Nazis." And he's going to sell that. Of course he is, because he's clever. He's not stupid. But people seem to think that, I was listening to Patrick McDavid say, "Yeah, he's a gangster. He's not afraid of those No, no, he's not that he's not afraid. He's not accustomed to it. That's a different part of the world. That's a complete. Don't admire this. This is not. No, he is using sophistry at his finest to justify an invasion of people, and he did. Now, whether it's like you and I that believe that the United States assisted in inciting a civil war in Ukraine, which I believe and did happen. There's no reason that
Hmm.
John McCain and Lindsey Graham and other senators, and John Kerry, there's no reason they have to be in Ukraine. Joe Biden using Ukraine as a proxy for his son's business, and which is his business, and also as a proxy in a conflict that they're starting with the Orange Revolution, and then
Facts.
the one in 2014, where um, Yanukovych is ousted and he has to he flees to Moscow. That's not right.
I've been hearing a lot of conservatives. I think that's when Tucker asked him who destroyed the pipelines, and then he had a bunch of conservatives saying that you can trust Putin more than the CIA. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a joke. It's a joke, and I think they know it's a joke. I think it's another joke. That's what I don't like about nowadays. It's um, people hear the message and ignore the fact how the messenger is a horrible person. That's not a person you want by your side. He doesn't. Okay, he admires the spirit Americans once had, but he does not admire American conservatives. He does not. He is not an American conservative. He is not a conservative in any way. He is an imperialist. Vladimir Putin is a tyrannical imperialist. He is a paranoid dictator, and he is. This is a man who jails political opponents. He sends he sends journalists to prisons. Now does Joe Biden, is he complicit in the attempt to put Donald Trump in jail? Of course he is. But to say that Joe Biden is as bad as Vladimir Putin is a joke. Is he a horrible president? Yes. Is he as bad as Vladimir Putin? No. Vladimir Putin has bombed in support Vladimir Putin supports Palestine, yet does not, but he supports Palestine as a proxy against the West. He doesn't care about Palestinians. He supports
No, he does
Palestine
not.
as a proxy against the West and mocks them. He is racist. He does not like Muslims. So when you have people like in Dagestan, who's a, these UFC side fighters that like Putin because he's a strong man, he doesn't like you. He is a Orthodox Christian through and through. He believes in a single vision of Russia, like the Soviets did when they genocided um, minority groups. That's what they did. They wanted, just like in China, these communist tyrannical groups, they wanted one vision, one major denomination of people: Russians, ethnic Russians, Hanyu Chinese. And now that's what they did in China. And that's why they commit genocides over time. Do you think that Putin really cares a shit about these UFC fighters that like him in places like Dagestan? No, they don't. It's a joke. These people are a joke, dude. They're a complete joke. And to think that, oh yeah, but he hates gay people. Yeah, there are things we can agree on, but it's a joke to
Yeah.
think that you're going to stake your entire support of a man on the fact that, yeah, he doesn't like gay people. And it's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. And I think Tucker handled that interview very well. People thought that he was going to go in there like a puppy, but he was hard. He came out there hard. Now, I did hear that apparently Putin made Tucker wait 2 hours before conducting this interview. He stood him up for 2 hours, which is, again, a show of power, probably a way for him to get,
Really.
yeah, apparently. Which isn't that bad. The fact you got an interview is good enough. And you're getting an interview with one of the most notorious dictators in the world. You should be happy enough that you got one. That's as much as you're gonna get, honestly, or should expect.
What's his view counts on that
Uh,
episode? I kind of
oh,
want to
200
see.
million, 200 million, as if that
Should be
matters.
over. Yeah, I was gonna say it might be over 200 million. Matters to him,
To who?
I think.
To who?
Tucker.
No, I think he just cares about doing the
Tucker to
job.
Carson.
I think he just
Well,
cares
that's
about doing the job.
almost so 198 million.
Yeah, and that's just that's just part of the thing, because this is a worldwide interview. People worldwide are looking into people in England and in Africa and South America and in Australia are looking into this interview. That's why people are interested in this. This is a huge deal. But he's not doing this for the views. People who think he's doing this for the views are just pathetic. Does he care? Yes, but it's more about spreading. It's more about the craft. I think he wants to know. I think he's curious. That's what I think I like about Tucker, is that he's curious
Yeah.
and he notices things. He notices real things. He doesn't give a shit about the streaming community in Russia. He went today. He did an interview at a different convention. I think it's about government. It's like a government convention in the Middle East, and he said, the streets of Moscow are cleaner than any of the are cleaner, and and they have less crime than any other city in the United States. And he's right. They do, but
Mm,
it's kind of a theme that he has, and he's not wrong. It's this theme that the people that run these cities in the United States. It doesn't matter that they're just Democrats, because there are Republicans like this. We have rhinos, but it's the people that run their government here. They don't like us. The people that run our government do not like us, because if they liked us and respected us as a people, they wouldn't do these things. They wouldn't bring in millions of people across the border. They wouldn't fill our schools with terrible education. They wouldn't sabotage the education of our children, where we have kids in cities, reading above a fifth grade reading level, who can't read above a fifth grade reading. That's pathetic. You wouldn't do that.
yes, yep.
If you cared about the people that you serve in your government, you wouldn't pour homeless people out into the streets and into the subways where you have rapes, and you wouldn't release criminals from jail from where you have rapes and robberies and murders in the streets, in publicly, even in broad daylight, even. And we've seen that in shootouts and carjackings, like in places like DC and Philadelphia. You wouldn't have that if your government liked you. So that's a theme he has. Um, but Putin's not about that. It's like Putin's not your friend. That's what I hate about it. It's like Putin is not your ally. He will not come to save you. He will not come to save the United States. His view is to have Russia being the dominant world power in the world. That is his goal. That is Putin's goal. And to think that he was going to help save Donald Trump or any conservative is a joke. You're pathetic if you believe that. You have any thoughts before we wrap up? Because we're wrapping up soon.
No, I didn't really watch it at all, but uh, I mean, his clip with the pipeline was kind of funny because he asked him like, who destroyed the pipeline? He was like, you. And Tucker was like, no, no, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. But no, good on Tucker. Happy for him.
Yeah.
He even took the risk in going to Russia too.
Yeah. It's just a joke. But I think what he's notioning is that, you know what happened. You know that because first of all, he's playing at the joke that Tucker tried to join the CIA at one point in his life, and he did. Don't think that Putin's not researching this.
Yeah.
And he's starting the joke, you did, and it's a joke, but it is true. I think he knows. He's playing the fool here. But I just loved, it was kind of pointless for a most long time because you're hearing this history, and it is important to know, I guess, if you're interested in Russian history. But yeah, what's the point if you could have said that 20 years ago? You've been in power for over 20 years. You could have said that over 20 years ago and done this. You could have. And the only reason you may have said, oh, the only justification he won't admit this, but he might say, well, I wanted to, but I couldn't because Obama and Hillary were making money with me, and then Joe Biden was weak because look at Afghanistan. So, um, and the conservatives love it when they shit on America, of course. Well, so they'll say like, we're in debt, your streets are filled with crime. You can't criticize me. Well, yes, we can. Um,
Yeah.
because guess what? When there was a strong American president, he was for the most part kept in check. He didn't do stuff like this. He realized he couldn't because a strong American leader would do that. And when weak men lead, hard times come. We know that. There's a very weak, senile old man in power who doesn't seem to know which border he's talking about. Wants to send $70 billion more to Ukraine,
That's
and
hilarious.
in that thing, apparently, according to JD Vance, there's a clause in there that says if the next president tries to end the war in Ukraine and not send or withheld funds, he could be impeached over it, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
It's utterly ridiculous. So we have to really pay attention here. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this episode up. Wish we could have had more in terms of the reaction to Tucker. But in summary, it was a really good interview. Obviously, dumb, but I think we saw. I think people are able to see if they really dig deep. They're able to see exactly what type of leader Putin is. I don't think he's that ideological. I think he's more imperialist, more of an imperialist. I think he takes more of the. I don't think he's leaning that hard into the communism aspect. He was a KGB and he lived in communist Russia. He doesn't understand. He doesn't
Hmm.
know czarist, imperial Russia, but he is an imperialist, just like those communists were. Those communists were imperialists. They did believe that they needed to maintain the integrity of their borders or even expand them with allied states to protect themselves from threats. That's what Russians have always felt for thousands of years. So he's right about that. But to think that, that he was right about that he's not lying about his justification, of course not. Did he throw good tidbits about that they could have a peace deal? Yes. And it is on Zelensky now. Do I think Russia's winning the war? No. Do I think that Ukraine is winning the war? No. It's just pointless at this point because there's no peace deal. And he talked about
Yeah.
that. So I'd
Right.
recommend watching
Yeah.
it. We're almost done. Have a good night, guys. And we'll see you next time.